Hello, my friends, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Mashpitz. So the whole Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Pat McAfee drama continues on. If you didn't know, on the latest edition of Friday Night SmackDown on April 3rd, Pat McAfee was revealed as the sort of mystery man, the mystery caller that Randy Orton has been on the phone with. Pat McAfee, was the voice in Randy Orton's head. Now, after that happened, the reaction on social media from the internet wrestling community, from fans all around the world, was absolutely horrible. Fans absolutely hated it. Now, of course, everyone who's on social media and posts on social media and is kind of part of that internet wrestling community does not compile the entirety of the WWE fan base, but it does sometimes give you a pulse on kind of the feelings that these fans have had. And most of us, me included, fans have been fans for 20, 30 years of WWE, and we've gone through the ups and downs, and right now I think it's a real down time. And then 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, when we're expecting some sort of home run, Kevin Owens, I don't know, Cowboy Bob Orton, something, we get Pat McAfee, and then he goes in the ring, he pretends like he's shooting in the ring, like he didn't have exactly scripted what he was supposed to say. He goes in there and he cuts his promo, and now Pat McAfee is supposed to be the guy who helps Randy Orton win his 15th world title, because all fans see now is, okay, this is like a Travis Scott rerun of last year. TKO is interjecting themselves into another WrestleMania main event. What the fuck is happening? This cannot be blamed on Triple H. All of the regular booking of Raw and SmackDown and those things can be, sort of put at the feet of Triple H and the creative, sure. But this sort of oversight, this sort of injection is based on TKO and their need to have control and have mainstream attention and viral clips. And so all of that is happening. And then again, as I'm sitting here and recording this video, the reaction to Pat McAfee has been atrocious. But a new story has emerged from that story, and it's about this kind of being a shoot or a work. Was this planned? Was this not planned? And so here's what I'm going to tell you. Sources indicate to Body Slam that Cody Rhodes was told from members of Creative to go into the ring and shoot from the hip regarding Pat McAfee and TKO. Cody Rhodes' promo was not listed internally on the rundown because it was not scheduled to take place prior to the social media reaction. So they saw the reaction on social media from the Pat McAfee reveal, which was one of the worst reveals of all time. This is coming from me, who really likes Pat McAfee. I just thought that spot, that situation, that close to WrestleMania was bad. It wasn't a home run, and it didn't work at all. And so then Cody Rhodes tweets, he says, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to talk, I'm going to apologize, I have to talk before kind of the show ends. It seems like he was kind of just shooting from the hip, which I guess he was told to shoot from the hip. And then Rhodes and other members of the creative team have legitimate gripes with TKO for sticking their nose in storylines close to WrestleMania multiple years in a row. So think about that. And then I want to read you one comment from obviously a WWE fan from that post on social that I think summarizes a lot what's going on. TKO's problem is they want all the money while pricing out their core demographic. So when the bottom line isn't doing well, they feel the need to step in when all this shit is their fault to begin with. That is a great point from a true WWE fan, and maybe that's not the sort of pulse of everyone, but that is the temperature of a lot of people about this situation. Now let's go into like the current story, which is like all of this was a shoot. Now, what is a shoot? A shoot means that it was real. A work means that it was planned. And so sometimes most things in wrestling are a work, like they're planned, they're predetermined. They're supposed to make you think like it was a shoot, right? They work you into a shoot. And now people are saying that when Pat McAfee went out there, what he said was a total shoot. He said whatever he wanted, and it was a total shoot. Don't believe that. Then Cody Rhodes goes out there, and what he says is a total shoot. He's shitting on this, he's shitting on that. When he's saying Pat McAfee, he really means TKO. Now you have to understand that WWE, the point of all of this is to make you think like it was real. To make you think like it was real. In today's day and age, WWE can feed whatever information they want to every single dirt sheet on the planet, and those dirt sheets are going to buy it, believe it, and send it out. Maybe they send them, maybe they pay them, maybe they don't pay them. They can send them this thing, this information. Now you have 5 different dirt sheets who are tweeting out and posting out 4 or 5 different pieces of information, so you don't know what's true, what's not true. Then you think this whole thing was a shoot because it seems so chaotic and so unplanned. Like, Pat McAfee just went out there and he said whatever the fuck he wanted, and no one knew it was going to happen. And then Cody Rhodes in the back got freaking pissed. He was like, oh my God, what did he just say? After he got kicked in the balls and hit with a chair and whatever. Then he goes to the back and he's like, what the fuck just happened? Why was Pat McAfee allowed to say all that stuff? I'm going out there, I'm shooting from the hip as well. No. WWE wants you to think that way. Pat McAfee knew exactly what he was going to say when he walked out there. Maybe not the exact words or the exact cadence or tone, right? Because Pat McAfee talks for a living and he's very good behind a microphone. So he had a general idea of what point he needed to get across and how to sell the story more. Did he do that? No, he didn't sell the story more or the fight more. He just made fans really mad that he was the reveal, and now he's going to be interjected into a main event of WrestleMania when Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton had plenty of story without Pat McAfee. And then you think, okay, well, now everyone's tweeting online. Now we see that Cody Rhodes had no idea this was going to happen. And now he wasn't on the run sheet to begin with to give a promo later. Now he's interjecting himself into the promo. So now he's going out there and he's shooting from the hip. He's being told to shoot from the hip. He's being told to shit on TKO and Pat McAfee in the situation and talk from his heart. And so that's a shoot. Is that a shoot? Did they know what he was going to say? It's not a shoot. Nothing is a shoot. So you think Cody Rhodes has the balls to go out there in the middle of the ring on live television and talk smack about the company that owns him, even though he has literally no say in what happens in his WrestleMania storylines? Last year, Travis Scott got involved. You think Cody Rhodes wanted that? And then it turned out to be shit at WrestleMania because Travis Scott and The Rock weren't there. You think Cody Rhodes was like, he agreed to it? Of course he agreed to it, because he's a paying member of their company. You think all of these guys have so much creative control, it doesn't matter how high they are. They don't. That's why John Cena always said over and over and over again, I just do what I'm told. I'm a company man. TKO runs the show and they own Triple H and they don't trust Triple H, especially when it gets to these types of main event situations where ticket sales are low. So they interject The Rock and Travis Scott, and Cody Rhodes has no say. Now they interject Pat McAfee, and Cody Rhodes and definitely Randy Orton have no say. And so you think with all of that, this fucking guy Cody Rhodes has the balls to go into the middle of the ring and just shoot from the hip where no one knows what he's going to say? Absolutely not. They are working you, and that's great, because now the storyline somewhat is off of Pat McAfee and that brutal reveal, and now it's on whether or not Cody Rhodes is just shooting. Is this legit? Is this real? Should we trust this? What's happening here? WWE is feeding you the information they want you to believe to work yourselves into a shoot so you think this whole thing is real. This is what we get now in today's day and age of WWE. And I think that stuff is cool. That part is cool because you don't know what to believe, what's real, what's not real. We want to be able to suspend our disbelief. That is awesome. But don't get everything all up in, don't get your fucking panties in a twist thinking like Cody Rhodes is some tough guy and he's going out there and he's just shooting and Pat McAfee is just shooting. No, they are employees doing what they're told because that's what's happening, even though TKO keeps fucking it up over and over and over again. And then I give credit to McAfee, to Randy Orton, to Cody Rhodes, to John Cena, to all of these guys who are making these storylines work to the best of their ability, regardless of how much TKO wants to interfere and fuck it up. So think about that. This whole thing is not a shoot. They are working you to make you believe it's a shoot, and that's the whole point. There are very few things in wrestling that just kind of happen organically. Most recently was R-Truth. And then Triple H tried to make you believe that that was his plan all along. That was organic. Triple H, or R-Truth. That was a shoot. But then they worked it into an angle, and now R-Truth is back to doing exactly what he was doing before. But all this stuff and the road to WrestleMania and all these types of things like that, it's too close to WrestleMania for things to be sort of flying by the seat of their pants. This is not a shoot. They worked you into a shoot, and that's cool. But the whole point is that this road to WrestleMania has been subpar. Triple H's booking has been subpar. The creativity, the production, the TV quality, all has been subpar. And so because of that, TKO felt they needed to save WrestleMania, just like John Cena said he needed to save wrestling, and now Pat McAfee says he needs to save the business. The only thing that's going to save the business is if WWE steps the fuck up and actually produces quality television, builds brand new stars, and makes compelling stories that people are interested in watching. That's what's going to save WWE, and that's what I have to say about that. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.